Good afternoon, good evening, good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Hello, people. This is the Republic of Biafra government in exile, located on 1717 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. We are back again to keep monitoring what is going on. And right now, the government is really convinced that there is very overwhelming evidences that Inec of Nigeria is rigging the election, the presidential election. The mandate of the people was said yesterday. Obi was voted overwhelmingly. The mandate of the people that Obi should be their next president to take them to the next level. The usual rogue Nigeria contraption, the rogue Nigeria noted for their fraudulent behaviors have started to rig this election. First of all, they have made the system put in place for transmission of reports from the source to go down. Presiding officers have been complaining since yesterday that they do not have access to report people's vote from the source, from the polling booths, that the server went down, and they're compelling them to send people's reports and results manually. We should not forget the fact that this was how they manipulated and put Hope Uzodinma, a stooge in Imo State, that is causing a lot of havoc. INEC is noted for their corruption, for their fraudulent behavior, for their rigging process. They have exhibited it again in this election. And we, the people, we have spoken, we will not take it this time around. The Republic of Biafra government in exile, led by President Honorable Tony Wincy, is calling on all 1 million Biafrans and Nigerians to rise up to this. We must not allow and tolerate this any longer. The government is calling on all Nigerians and Biafrans to rise up and go to INEC offices and peacefully demonstrate. Peacefully demonstrate that this attempt to rig this presidential election is not going to be tolerated. INEC knows what is good for them. Let them rise up and report accordingly, according to the way the people have voted. So the government is calling on all people to rise up and go to INEC to peacefully demonstrate this orchestrated, well-organized method of rigging the mandate of the people. With me today at the studio is our Honorable Mazin Bakwe, Engineer Bakwe. Uche Bakwe is the president of Elder Council in the government. And he is also the patron of Umada Biafra worldwide. Umada Biafra endorsed P2B, and our mandate was spoken yesterday, and it was heard. As well, today with me is Ike Warisa. Comrade Ike Warisa is one of the leaders of Aladima.com. He's a well-meaning Biafran who wishes well for his people. That's why he has come here today to make sure our people are being advised the right way to follow. We are Republic of Biafra government in exile, located on 1717 Pennsylvania Avenue. The president of the government is Honorable Tony Wincy, and we are here to lead and tell our people the way forward. You're welcome, great and honorable men, to this frustrating but interactive broadcast this afternoon. We are getting reports of things happening on the ground. And as I welcome Mazin Bakwe, before I come to you, Comrade, what is your take about this epileptic and organized epileptic reporting, as well as the silence of the media, as well as this orchestrated, well-organized, fraudulent election rigging by INEC? What do you advise our people to do? The government says we want massive protests at the INEC offices all over the country. Peaceful protest demanding that the people's mandate should not be stolen. What is your take, sir? Thank you. Honorable Comrade Ike Mori, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Oh, okay. I was thinking you were referring to Engineer
I said
Mbaku.
before I come to him, you should tell me all I have stated. What is your take about that?
All right. Actually, it's really pathetic. It's really, really pathetic and uh, deplorable, to say the least, what happened in the elections and what is still going on in the elections. Actually, our hope was that INEC would be an unbiased umpire in the electoral process. But from every indication, we have come to see that INEC is not unbiased. INEC is partisan. INEC has decided to change the will and the choice of the people, because from the result we are getting from various polling stations and polling centers across the nation, we saw clearly that the other two major political parties clearly saw the fact that the Labour Party presidential candidate is, cashing out all the votes, even though that INEC is also helping them by printing some ballot papers without the Labour Party logo in it, a complete booklets, cartons of booklets were printed with the omission of Labour Party logo and position in the ballot paper. So those ballot papers were not printed by a roadside printing press. It's printed by INEC. So there was a calculated plan from the onset to rig the election against Labour Party. Because if the INEC is unbiased, they would have done everything at normal neutral level, whereby the materials will be made available to the voters at the right time, and there will be no discrepancy in the voting materials. So from the beginning, you can see that INEC is partisan. INEC is not unbiased. INEC has plan with either the ruling party or the PDP to rig the election against the Labour Party. And when they saw that even at their own game, that the masses, the Nigerian masses, are speaking louder than thunder, that they want a change, they want something, they want a better Nigeria, they deployed their thugs to go and start destroying the electoral materials. They themselves also went further. They also went further to add the rigging of the election by switching off the network connection between the BVM machine and also not letting these people at the police stations to transmit. So you can see that it is obvious and clear that INEC is not out there to give us a free and fair election. So in my own opinion, what should happen is for Labour to go to court and for Labour Party to go to court and sue for total cancellation of the elections until INEC is ready to, be an unbiased umpire, until INEC is ready to conduct a free and fair election, until they are ready to allow Nigerians to speak their mind through their ballot papers, through their PVCs. So for us to go out there and start to protest at the INEC office, when these people made up their mind from the beginning, before even the first vote was cast, to rig the election against Labour Party. So what are we protesting for?
So let me come in there, Comrade Ike.
Go
if
ahead.
we do not protest and the judiciary system is still within them, what do you think? Because this protest is to bring international community attention to the process, and probably, you know, something different. If we do not protest and we believe in the judiciary system that has failed them, failed all of us. We were here when Nnamdi Kanu was given freedom, discharged and acquitted. Up to today, they're still holding him in consideration. So how do you have, you know, believe in the judiciary system of Nigeria to give you justice?
But you remember that the judiciary also set Nnamdi Kanu free. So we want the judiciary to cancel the election, just like the judiciary also ruled in the case of the money change of Nigerian currency, and the government is doing a different thing altogether. So what I'm trying to say here is, if we can go and obtain an injunction in the court to hold on to the election, to cancel the election, it's not our business whether the government obey the rule or not. Because what happened now is obviously the act of the INEC. INEC has decided to rig the election. In fact, INEC rigged the election, not even the parties. The parties, they rigged the election in favor of the parties, because there is no way you can rig the election and the INEC is not part of it. Whatever you rig there has to go to INEC. So if INEC permits whatever they rig there to go ahead, means that INEC is part of the rigging. So if we do not go to court and we protest, INEC will announce the result. And the moment the INEC announce the result, we'll be protesting forever, and they will swear in anybody they want to swear in.
We will go with both. The government advises we go with both. Afterwards, the even Labour Party themselves, they know what to do. But the masses who gave the mandate, everybody is not going to go to court. The masses vote is what is the evidence they have. The Labour Party knows what they do. They know definitely that they have to establish their case in the legal arena. But the people who came out under rain and sun to cast their vote have to demand that their vote be given to the person they casted the vote for. Before I come back to you, Mazin Bakwe, what is your take on this? Because the people have spoken, and there is a very obvious sign to see the mandate of the people. What do you advise our people to do at this time? The government stand is that everybody should rise now and go to the INEC offices and protest peacefully, while the legal team go about, you know, to make sure they establish their case. What is your take, sir? I'll come back to you, Mazin, sir. Mazin Bakwe, what is your take on this? Thank you, sir.
Wow, this is a headful and a mouthful. I don't even know where to start. I mean, what else could go wrong that have not gone wrong? First of all, we have an incompetent INEC or INOS or IAS. Excuse my language. Because today we're going to tell it the way it is. In the first place, they did not produce the right ballot papers. The ones they produced omitted LP, this platform. Secondly, the INEC officials did not get to the polling station. They delayed their going there. And when they finally got there, they brought the wrong papers, or they didn't even bring papers. They forgot it. They go to the poll, people were being threatened not to vote. If you don't want to vote APC, get out. Some had bloody nose that left their job, their little thing they do that place food on the table for them, and went out to vote, and they ended up with a bloody nose. How can anybody, comprehend this? And on top of that, after all the calculated move to thwart the election, to disrupt the election, to create a chaos, they refused the return officers to file in their report. Beavers stopped working. Network stopped working. So it's a situation where the falcon cannot hear the falconer, and things have actually fallen apart. So I will support everything that can be done to bring pressure on the government. Because, I mean, how could you, what is INEC? What is it supposed to be? Independent, whatever it is. Is this independent? Is it not biased? How can you force people, okay, if you cannot transmit it, bring it to us so that we can process it? That we're giving the opportunity to falsify, to doctor it. And they think that they're dealing with stupid idiots like us. Yesterday, we said it clearly that this is a new era. The long lion has woken up. The long lion has woken up from slumber. So that let them not think it's business as usual. Let them not think it's business as usual. We will pursue every avenue. We will agitate. We will follow legal process, both, not concurrently or simultaneously, to bring pressure, because this is the height of, this is what I call terrorism in the highest order. Our youth should wake up, our people should wake up. This is a challenge to my fellow Biafrans and Nigerians. This is a slap on our face. We're not going to take it lying down. It calls for action. It doesn't just call for rant, going to the social media to rant. This is what that Tisoko. Yes, we have to step out of our comfort zone, because we will live to regret if we do nothing today. We will live to regret it. It doesn't matter whether you're autopilot, whether you are Aladema, whether you are IPOB, or whether you are DOS, all hands have to be on the deck. That is my own personal antidote to what is going on now. We can't let them get away, get off hook. An international community, I'm still waiting to hear their remarks. What is going on? What is going on with the international community, the international bird watchers? That's what I call them. I will reserve my other comments for now.
Yes, Mazimbakwe, you made the points, and I am really I'm really heartbroken, because what happened yesterday in the pools leaves much to be appreciated, and our people need to stand up. Our people need to stand up. The only thing that is paining me is that we have a deaf and dumb government in Nigeria. In fact, we have a blind, deaf, and dumb government in Nigeria. You do the protest, they won't recognize you are protesting. They won't hear whatever you are complaining, and they will never take any action towards remedying whatever it is that you are protesting. Unless such protest comes to the point whereby it is now obstructing operations of the government. And what next do? They send in their military to start killing our people. But that is all going to say that we are going to be deterred. We must protest this election fraud that has happened in Nigeria, because I thank God very much about the availability of the social media. Because if we had been waiting, just imagine if we had been waiting for maybe ATA Nigeria, or maybe Channel Television Nigeria, or maybe Arise TV and the AIT them to give us update of what is happening or what has happened in this pool. you would have seen a very clean picture of peaceful, well organized, well produced electoral process, whereby nobody was hurt, no vote was destroyed, no police station was no votes were destroyed. But social media is here to tell us exactly what is happening in real time. So we saw it happen. We saw where they were thumbprinting. One person is thumbprinting as many voters' cards as possible in the north. We saw where they were burning ballot boxes and ballot papers. We saw where they were mandating returning officers to falsify figures. All these things are there on the social media for us to see. So I hope, and I believe those who are in the organizational position of Labour Party are collecting all this information to make their report or to make their to present their case both to the court and to the international community. Because what happened in Nigeria yesterday is nothing like an election. It was just a thuggery. It was just a terrorist act. It's just like it's just like what happens in an animal kingdom. Even in the animal kingdom, things are done in organized manner. But what happened yesterday in Nigeria is most deplorable and most, disheartening. What
Yes.
our people need to do now is to go out in the street and tell the international community that they are not accepting anything short of their mandate to be honored. But then when you ask me, how will the international community take into account who actually won in the election when everything has been falsified, when everything has been rigged? Even the BVM machines have been manipulated. They switched off the internet, they switched off the transmission line so that they can be able to manipulate everything. And because this is a computer system, anything you feed into it is what it will give you. So that they will feed in the wrong figures into the system and then post to the Inec. So it didn't work at all. What happened yesterday was just like robbery, daylight robbery, and we will not take it.
Again, I'm going to say we are not going to lie down and wait for a miracle to happen. Wait for heaven to come down and give us a victory. We have to move. This is not a time, to maintain the position of sit on the pants. We have to get up, because this is the height of. I mean, this is nothing but election terrorism. And everybody's watching. My question is, if you knew you were going to rig this election, why do you invite international observers? Why do you invite them? And if you knew you were going to rig the election, why do you even have to open up booths? You could have just said, okay, we have selected our president. If you knew you were going to rig this election, why make people leave what they had to do that day? Most of these people are farmers, traders. They left everything they had to do to head to the police stations. Many arrived there at 6 a.m. in the morning and waited for the scheduled time, 8:30. At 8:30, in most places, the Inec officers were not seen. They were not there. So what type of election is this? I am still waiting for those stupid observers. They have to say something. And talking about our media, news media, Arise, Channel, and you name it. Those young kids here are just having they're enjoying what they're doing. They don't care. They are well situated. I mean what I'm talking about. Look at them. While others are suffering. So we have to take up this. I don't know how we are going to sit there and then watch and then drown. This is going to be nothing but foolishness, and posterity is not going to judge us well. I'm saying this now. This is a challenge for my fellow Biafrans, comrades here in diaspora. It doesn't matter which organization you belong to, unless you're a one Nigeria person, a completely one Nigeria person that don't want to engage so that you will be free. Unless you don't want to engage in, in governance of your land.
I heard you loud and clear, Mazimbakwe and the Comrade Odisa. Thank you for holding brief. I was trying to upload a breaking news, and you guys can see this picture. This is a breaking news. It says a breaking news: Obasanjo storms Inec collection center in Abuja with the real results of all the 36 states and FTAC, Federal Capital Territory. Inec chairman was in shock when Obasanjo showed up in Abuja Inec collection with 2023 original results sheet for all states. How Obasanjo got the result and how he got the Inec server password remains unknown, as the Inec chairman's request for the suspension of the presidential election. The original result that Obasanjo had with him shows Obi coming first with a 10 million vote margin, and Atiku coming second with 4 million votes ahead of Tinubu, who couldn't get 25% in each state that is required. So great people, you know, they say thief man steal something to follow to if you help and buy them. So right now, at least we know that there are some people who are aware and above this game, playing it with them the way they are playing it. And I'm so pleased with that. It's in Aladima, it's everywhere, it's published. I was just trying to download the breaking message, but it was taking so long. That was why I was able to show it that way. And
okay, and we hope, and I hope, yes, and I hope this is not fabrication. This is not. What they discovered is the real original. I hope it's not a fake original.
Mazima,
you know, let's be very, very careful. You are dealing with Nigeria.
No, hold on.
Right.
Nobody's more Nigerian than Obasanjo. Obasanjo has seen the military, seen the war, seen everything, seen democracy. He's as good as they are. So if as you take Bayam, now so you take Selam. Don't say that, because for Obasanjo to step in, that is what he's doing as a statesman at this crucial time. Look at what Adebanjo said. This is the time when honorable men, whether honorable by virtue or honorable by accomplishment, should rise up and speak. And that is exactly what Obasanjo is doing as an elderly statesman. That is exactly
yes, and also the masses have to wake up. We don't just wait for one person to bail the cat. We are at the point where all hands should be on the deck. They can be doing that. The people need to agitate.
Let finish. We are going to analyze these things. It's going to be your turn. You are going to analyze it. Allow her to finish.
Now
Go
they
ahead.
think they have stolen the mandate. They didn't know that there was a watchdog watching. Mind you that former President Obasanjo is a well-informed man, well-connected in the whole world, well-known when secret monitoring. So as they take tea from now, so you take buy-in from them. They think they have it all. Now they see that brain pass brain. Obi is the people's mandate, and they cannot steal that from him. Look at what, let me show you what Adebanjo said. And that is why I told my people, when you say no election, that means you don't want democratic process. But if you partake in the election and they do what they're planning to do now, the world will rise. Those living that are not for us will rise and speak on our behalf. I want you people to see what Adebanjo, 94-year-old credible statesman, said about this election. Read. He says Nigeria has shown that they want Peter Obi to be their president by voting for him. If INEC dares to rig the election, Nigerians should protest seriously for international communities to intervene. If you don't want Igbo man to rule Nigeria, then allow them to go and have their Biafra. Ayo Adebanjo. This is a credible elderly statesman speaking. And this is when we now want everybody to rise up. And that was why the government says everybody should rise up now and go to INEC and tell them it's not going to be business as usual. We are not going to tolerate this rubbish again. It has been. That happened in Imo State. They used their judiciary system to play the card to its logical conclusion. We will not tolerate this anymore. And that is exactly why, as the legal process goes on, we must rise to go to INEC officials to tell them it's not going to be business as usual, peacefully. The government is calling for peaceful demonstration. And look at what I read about Obasanjo. He said that the INEC chairperson has called off, suspended the election because he has seen the real result being brought in by Obasanjo. So let's see how this pendulum is going to swing, how this game is going to play. We want everybody to rise. And where is the like of Aisha Yusuf and all the rest of them? They should rise up and mobilize people to go to INEC offices and protest this broad day robbery that is not going to be acceptable to us. I rest it there. Take it off from there. Mazimbakwe or Comrade Odisa. Thank you.
Yes, I'm with you on the Damaka, but I have to play the devil's advocate. You have to show me the way to hide, because we're dealing with Nigeria. Everything in Nigeria, the only person they have not been able to bribe is God. I mean, I won't take it away from them if they even begin to attempt to bribe LP, Labour Party members. You know, this Nigeria is a very unique country. There is not, in fact, if you have a machine that in your computer that can find out where things are hidden, in your crocodile eye, they will steal that machine. That machine will not even be able to spot them when they are coming to steal it. A machine that you bought, that you want to use to monitor thieves. You know, it's supposed to monitor everybody, even when somebody is coming to grab it. But Nigeria, they are so, you know, into it that they will steal that machine. So I'm not, you know, refuting what you said or what our former president has gone to find out, and then, but you know, they have to make it available. They also have to pursue it, so that will make our work less. Because right now we're here, you know, ranting, do this, do that. Why are they doing this to us? Why are they doing that to us? If they can discover the real result, then we don't have to do much. Everybody will just shut down this broadcast and then go home and drink our coffee or tea and relax and say, praise God. So I am with you on one hand. On the other hand, I am show me. I'm from that show me state. Over to you.
Yes, at this point in time, we need to start having a positive mindset. The reason I'm saying this is because even before the election was conducted, Obasanjo knew what he was going to do and what was going to happen, because Tinubu accused him of being the highest election rigger. So, and he told Tinubu that when he started playing politics, he was busy gallivanting the entire world with drugs. And that as long as he is concerned, he will not watch and let this election be rigged. So it's like he's living up to his word. And you know what? The thing is that this election result is online. Is online. And even though that they themselves, switched off the network connection between the BVM machines and Inec collection center, the people at the locations have the original results in the first place. Even before the destruction of the ballot boxes, the original accreditation and information of people that came to vote is already there. So from every indication, Obasanjo could have a nearer to authentic result of the election. But we still encourage our people to stand up. We still encourage our people to make sure that they defend their vote. Because defending your vote is not just like being there until it is counted, to be sure that when they say the wrong thing, you rise up. So I will encourage our people to start arranging on how to protest. Because protest is the only way you can register your displeasure or disapproval of what has happened. So I will advocate for our people not to sit on the fence or not to watch as this stealing of our mandate is going on. For Obasanjo to show up in INEC office is a clear indication that he is going there with the material that is of great importance. He's not just going there to blow grammar or to show his personality. He is going there with materials that must reflect the true position of what happened yesterday. So let's see how everything goes. But let our people not rely on that. Let our people stand up and start protesting, especially in those areas that the materials were destroyed. Let our people stand up and start protesting. That will be the first step to let the world know that what happened in Nigeria is not an election. It is a mere thuggery and robbery, and at the same time, terrorism in the electoral field.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm not a pessimist. Okay, I'm a realist. I don't believe in Okeke is on the front line. Let me relax. I mean, we know him. He's very strong. He can defend us. He can bring us victory. I don't believe in that. And that's the attitude that people tend to adopt. When Nnamdi Kanu emerged, everybody was behind him, following. Those that are supposed to be, walk side by side with him, they did not do that. So our people are very fond of, okay, you go bail the cat for me. But if we all see this as a challenge, even though a very crucial discovery has been made, that should not stop us, because these people they've slapped us. In fact, there should be a reprimand on both the INEC and even on the federal government of Nigeria. They told us they were ready for the election. Everything we were told we are set, and then the very morning they wouldn't even show up on time, and that's a violation. So you begin to wonder, what kind of people of integrity do we have in INEC? Yeah? So they lack everything, both management, logistics, they lack it, and integrity, they lack it. Why should we put people of such low character in a place like that? And then we expect a good result? No. So it's not enough to say, okay, now that this crucial discovery has been made, okay, let's just pipe down. No, this is the time we need to begin to fire from all our cylinders. That's the point I'm trying to make. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. And I can read everybody's frustration, but at least there are still some old cargos and old game players in the whole thing. Whether they're going to sell out along the line, for now, we don't believe that, because everybody, both the young and old, everybody's tired of what is going on right now in that nation, in that contraption. So let's believe that elderly statesmen are speaking. If you do not want Peter Obi to be there, he was overwhelmingly voted for, then allow the Biafrans to go. That is why we said, if we do not partake in this election, they will say, oh, the Biafrans didn't want democracy. They didn't even agree to regional restructuring. They do not agree to anything. Now we have voted. Now, El-Rufai came vividly to state that Obi has 100% chance to win this election. But Obi being an Igbo man, it is on rule that no Igbo man will rule Nigeria. So that he is ready to go to war than an Igbo man to rule Nigeria. El-Rufai. So that will tell you guys where we're heading to. If he was voted and he's saying that he cannot be there because he's an Igbo man, I want you people to see that. I will upload it as the broadcast keeps going. This is El-Rufai stating that he says Peter Obi has 100% chance to win Tinubu and Atiku, but he is an Igbo man. We rather go to war than see Igbo man win. El-Rufai. The Kaduna State President El-Rufai, because he's the one ruling Nigeria. That's why they're addressing him as President El-Rufai. They said the Kaduna State President El-Rufai has opened up as to the reason why Peter Obi cannot win or rule Nigeria. In a statement released, he said Obi has the chance to win, but that such cannot happen as to Igbos are not allowed to rule Nigeria. And that tells me if Igbos are not allowed to rule Nigeria, the resources from Igbo land is what they're using to develop the whole so-called Nigeria, then tell me why we should remain in that contraption. Why should we be part of that nation? If we are most educated, most resilient, most hardworking, most blessed with natural resources, most articulated, most nationalists, and we cannot rule a country we call ourselves, then why are we supposed to be in that country? And that is now we are going to join hands together, both those who believed in Biafra before and those who do not believe. This is now the time to come together and move in one accord and get our nation. Sorry?
The people of Nigeria did not vote to be as an Igbo man.
Right.
The people of Nigeria voted
for him as a Nigerian.
Yes, they voted for him because they believe that he represents the change they want in Nigeria. He represents a hope for the common people. He presents a hope for the downtrodden. He represents everything that Nigeria is not. That's why they voted for him.
Right.
So, and now,
if they're now going to make it a tribal thing, that Nigerians overwhelmingly voted for Obi, but because the only thing that disqualifies Obi is because he's an Igbo man. What do I expect us to say? That's to your change, oh Israel. Biafra,
exactly.
go your way. Yorubas, go your way. Arewa, go your way. And then, if Obi, the only thing that disqualifies Nigerian mandate is because of Obi being an Igbo man, then there is no point staying in that nation. It's time now to come together.
If I can take it from there from you, sorry, I'm cutting in because I really feel that I want to make this statement and let it be on record. This statement of El-Rufai is again another statement from the North that our people should take note of. The first one was when Ahmad Bello said it, that this nation shall be an estate of our great-grandfather, and we shall ruthlessly prohibit, stop any change of power shift from the North to anywhere. We shall use the minorities in the South as a willing tool, of the North as a willing tool, and the South as a conquered territory. We shall never allow them to rule over us or to have to have the capacity to be on their own. This statement, where it was ignored all the way from Zik to the people of the Second Republic until now. They don't want to take recognition of that statement, which has been a script the North has been playing up to today. That script led to what they call Abuja Declaration. That script led to what they call Ruga. That script led to what they are still doing now to get what they call the inland waterways to plant their people. It is the same statement of Ahmadu Bello that they are interpreting. Now again, El-Rufai have come out to make this statement that because P2B is an Igbo man, he has the chances, 100% chances of winning this election. But because he's an Igbo man, it will never happen because Igbos are not meant to rule Nigeria. See that statement. Who made it? Who said that Igbos can never rule Nigeria? Why was that statement made? So what I'm trying to say here now is, if our people do not rise up in this second statement again, then it means that we, as a people, are more dumb than the people that are ruling over us think we are. Because you cannot tell us that we will not have power to rule ourselves, to control our future, to decide for ourselves what will be good for us. They will never allow us to take that decision. And now you tell us that Igbo people has been marginalized to the point that we cannot rule Nigeria where we belong. And just like you rightly pointed out, whatever that they are using to rule Nigeria today is coming from the Igbo land. And they don't want us to become, president in Nigeria. If our people do not pick up these two issues now and stand by it, if our politicians, if our elite, if our people, if our leadership in the Igbo land, in the South, do not rise up to use this particular statement as a point to decide that it is all over with us in Nigeria, if they fail to give Obi this mandate. If they fail to give Obi this mandate, this is the time for this is the time, these useless people that are doing, forcing people to sit at home that they don't want to do vote, that do not know where they are supposed to take their annoyance to, their anger to. That is the time they will now, they should rise up to tell our people that if you do not go out now and tell Nigeria that we are no longer part of you, since we cannot become part of you, since we cannot be a president in that country, we do not want to become part of you. These are our elites, these are our politicians. If they do not make a statement from what has happened yesterday and this statement that El-Rufai has made, then we know that we are nobody again in this country, and we don't have any people in our own area, in Igbo land. Thank you very much.
My brother.
Yes. Mazi Bakwe, our time is up. I'm going to be bringing Ezia Daoma. She's supposed to hold on, sir. She's supposed to host from 1 to 2. As I bring her on, she can also keep you guys as her guest. So, if Ezia, you're welcome. 1 minute, please. Let Mazi Bakwe make his statement, his closing remark, but we can still be your guest. I don't know whether you have your own guest, but is there here to?
Yeah, I'll appreciate. Let me say this thing really well. I'll appreciate you being my guest as well, please.
Okay, I don't mind. So give me a minute. Let Mazi Bakwe say what he wanted to say. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna maybe add or respond to what my comrade just said. That message has been on with us right from the time of Ahmadu Bello. It's just that our people are very naive, and now it's sinking in. How long will it take us to realize that that the enemy is clamping down on us? How long is it going to take us? So, yes, we have to wake up. And that waking up has to start with those in diaspora. If we don't spearhead it, nobody will. Hamburger and then go red wine and then all hail Biafra, all hail Nigeria. No, it doesn't end there. We have to take a step forward. We have to come out of our comfort zone and do the needful. Freedom is not free. Whether you are in Nigeria seeking for freedom or you're outside Nigeria seeking for freedom, it's not free. You have to take the bull by the horn sometime. So, and because the Roman said it, si tu pacem bella parati, if you want peace, if you want a goodness of life, you have to prepare for war because you're going to have things that will come against you.
Yes, man.
We had it clearly. We need and somebody made a comment. Somebody made a comment on the social media that Nigeria can never get better. The only solution is us going our separate ways. Yes, we know that, but we have to take the better even for now. We have to establish ourselves. You can't just jump and say, okay, I'm no longer in Nigeria. No, you have to apply wisdom. And Obi coming in will provide us that platform. That buffer.
Let's give Eziada her opportunity to host. We are still here. Eziada, take it off from here. This is Eziada Wenaba, our own daughter, a lady of integrity, Owada, Brokwa, the chairperson of Omadibo. So, Ada, you're welcome. You're going to host, and I'm glad to be your guest. And Mazimbakwe and Comrade Ike Morisa, we are going to be your guests. Thank you, and take it off from there. Thank you, sir.
Who decided that?
Actually, Mother, before you go in, I quickly want to say that before I came into the show, because this show was like impromptu to me, the president called me and said that this is a show.
If you're ready to leave, that's fine, sir. You can leave, no problem. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time. We'll call you some other time. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Yes. Mazimbakwe, are you ready to stay with us? If you have another engagement, we don't mind because Eziada is to
let me listen to Eziada briefly and
all right.
And then I can return.
Yes. And unmute yourself. You're muted.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, Mazimbakwe, thank you so much for being my guest. Eziada Amaka, thank you so much for what you do for our people.
Thank you, my dear.
Honestly, I've been following what is going on in the social media about this result. But I'm so overwhelmed with joy because, Nigeria actually came out and spoke with one voice. Nigerians came out to let the world understand that they are tired of what is going on. They are tired of poor governance. They are tired of the insecurity, the killing, the abject poverty, the negligence of our people. We are all tired. I'm sure every one of us is tired. And we want a change. Nigerians worked hard for this change. We have desired this change for a very long time. They head back this change. They are the aim of affairs, the political class. They don't want to change the country. They don't want to work for our growth. They don't want anything good coming or happening to Nigerians. This set of people comfortably took their children outside the country where they will have good life, better and quality education, social amenities, name it, good health care, and they think that Nigerians are not worthy to have same goodness just like them and their children. And why this is so interesting at this very point in time is because Nigerians have been so patient, more than patient, We have waited for these people to turn around and think for our collective good. We know that things have happened in other countries. Take the case of Ghana. Look at where Ghanaians are right now. And you know what Rawlings did to get his people on track. But we have not done it in Nigeria because we so love our people. We so care about our people. And we expect them to love us in return. We expected them to see the love we have for them, the political class, when they will be in their comforts, in their serene cars, with bulletproof all around, and with all the sirens doing all the noise in the streets. And the youth will be hailing them, oh, chairman, chairman, chairman. I was thinking that at a point, these people will think about the youth. Think about these people in the streets. Think about these people that has endured so much without raising an arm to resist their persecutors. I have thought they would have considered that these are same human beings like I and every other human being out there that feels pains, that can get depressed, that can get frustrated. But up to now, they never thought about it. They took Nigerians for fools. They took us for I don't know what to describe what they take us for, or who they take us for.
Let me come in there. You said it all. They are taking Nigerians, they are taking everybody to be fools. And that is exactly why they are trying to manipulate the people's mandate. People came out overwhelmingly yesterday and voted for the man of their choice, the man they feel will make the difference, that will salvage the leftover, because Nigeria is gone. Now Inec is trying to manipulate it. And you've been following on with what has been going on in the social media, how they brought down the server that is supposed to transmit the reports, how they have been using mafia and thugs to burn down people's voters' cards and all those stuff, and ballot boxes. How they have been beating up people. What advice our people? Really... What do you advise Biafrans, Nigerians, people who have given this mandate? What is your advice for them?
Yeah, thank you, my sister, because I was going straight to that. As I'm sitting here, you know, my intention and my desire will be for those people having the field results to go out there and declare Peter Obi and other representatives that won in this election, declare them winners right now and right here. Because that is the true result. That is the true mandate. That is the victory of the people. Whoever or those preparing those field results to put it together so that Peter Obi and all those that won can be declared winners. Since INEC don't want to do what they should do, since the political class don't want to take a bow and leave the youth to actually grow, and leave Nigeria to actually heal from her many wounds, they want us to keep bleeding. My advice is, this is the time. It can never be later. The people actually went out to vote under very terrible situations. The rain, everything. I saw people with broken heads. I saw people standing endlessly to cast their vote. I saw many people that were stopped from voting, manipulated out of their civil rights. It's horrible. Let me tell you, Nigerians, no one has the monopoly of violence. If you're talking about one Nigeria, don't push the masses to the wall. Because when they turn around, especially the youth, they fight dirty. Don't forget that whatever consequences that comes out of what you people are manipulating and doing, it will be on everybody. If you stir up a revolution, the consequences will be on everybody. Our advice, those, the youth, you're not backing out right now. Everybody will go to the fields and get the results together. If the results from INEC is not saying that the people actually voted, we will say no to such results. We saw what happened in the fields. We saw how strenuous people had to stand to vote. Their suffering will not be in vain. The victory cannot be denied. It is time, and this is the time. Nobody will say you're beating the drum of war. No, INEC and the political officers, the political class are beating the war drum and the drum of revolution. They shouldn't pretend that they don't know what is going on. They did all they could do. Spent all the money on earth, the money they could not use to better the lives of Nigerians. Create jobs for our youth, give us social amenities. They had those monies hide away and they used it for election. At the end of the day, victory that comes from the people became the story of the day. And what are they doing presently? Turning around to slap our faces, to tell us that we want nothing, that it should be them and continuously be them. And Nigerians are saying no to such manipulations. Call it whatever you want to call it, but call it freedom. Call it the fight for freedom. Call it the fight for liberty. How long are we going to be like this? We should be grateful to Peter Obi for taking this mantle of service. What is it going to serve from? The corruption in the system, the money that has been looted, the country that has been looted dry. He's going to serve to revamp what is left of Nigeria. It's not going to be a pleasure ride for him. We should be grateful for him and his vibe that has taken this responsibility upon themselves.
See, Eziada, let me come in there. Mazimbakwe, before I come to you, let me point something to Eziada. We are here congratulating His Excellency Peter Obi for taking this mantle of a, heavy cross. That's the way I see it. Just like Jesus Christ carried the heavy cross. They have voted him to carry the cross of Nigeria, to see what he can salvage out of the deplorable nation called Nigeria, the well-looted, stolen to dry nation called Nigeria. But somebody is somewhere in the comfort of his house. I'm going to see if I'm going to upload this. This is Rbgie. He is the cabal that is ruling Nigeria with Garuba Shehu. Rbgie is saying Peter Obi has 100% chance to win Tinubu and Atiku. But he is an Igbo man. We rather go to war than see Igbo man rule Nigeria, than to see Igbo man win. Rbgie, a sitting governor, is saying that no Igbo man is going to rule, that they prefer to go to war than to see Igbo man win. If Rbgie says this is not accredited to him, he needs to come out and debunk it. And that is why they are rigging it with everything. Before this election, something came on viral where Atiku, Okowa, and Tambawa, they were planning how to rig the election. Now, Rbgie is the one ruling Nigeria with Garuba Shehu and Malami. He has now come out to say that the only offense Nigerians' mandate, the people's mandate should be denied from Obi is because he's an Igbo man. And then, what is your take? Because you are now saying that Obi is accepting the load, the heavy cross he wants to carry. But now people are telling you they're not even ready to give him that cross to carry, whether he's willing or not, because he's an Igbo man. I want your take here before I come to Mazimbakwe.
Yeah, my sister, you know what we are saying about manipulations. political manipulations. They've so mastered it. Ethnicity, religion, they quoted it together just to limit the mentalities and sensitivity of the people. What has Peter Obi got to do? An Igbo man. We Igbos and every other part of Nigeria, we've been existing for donkey years. What is the problem? What has been the problem? Injustice, cruelty, inequality. And how did it start? From greed of the many wicked people who found themselves in Nigeria. So they talk about Igbo man not being president. It's just, it's I don't know what to describe it. Anybody with such mentality is so debased. It's from a debased mentality. Address the issues. Because you are afraid that the Igbo man is intelligent or to give what you cannot give. To be straightforward and get it done. Is that your threat? Why not try him and see if he doesn't do it well? You want to go under religious and ethnicity bigotry because you have nothing to say. You have nothing else to say. And what does that amount to? Propaganda. That's what we call it in public relations. You are using propaganda. Shift one for that matter. Igbos and every other tribe were existing until injustice came in. And let me tell you, the Igbo man is an international entity. When you look up the Igbo man, wherever they are, they make records of good repute. So you will not say the Igbo man is your problem. Your problem is your greed. And your problem is your inability to think outside the box. Your problem is your inability to be fair and just, even to your own people. So don't bring the Igbo man in your gutter kind of mentality, because it counts. It doesn't count nothing and will never count. Now the Igbos are not even talking. Nigerians are speaking, calling for good governance. Calling for good governance. And that is what we must have by every means necessary. Don't say anybody is beating the drum of war. Nobody is. But Nigerians must get this change we all desire. We cannot be your shithole anymore, where you dump all kinds of your trash and your cruelty. So we will not be your scapegoats anymore. The youth are out there crying. You kill them in the exiles. Are you going to kill them again? Because a revolution is on the way. Because you, the political class, you refuse to do the right thing. You refuse to do the right thing to save our country that is sinking. You want to destroy Nigeria entirely. Look at all Nigerians running around every part of the world looking for greener pastures. What do we not have in Nigeria? You seize everything. You pile out the money. Look at the money in the system. And you pile them away. And you're telling us you love Nigerians. And you're telling us you're a religious entity. So where is your religion with all the looting you were doing? Where is your ethnicity when you see your people hungry in the streets? Where is your ethnicity? Where is the rationality behind whatever trash you're saying? Manipulations. But you came very late because the youths are wiser. Nigerians are wiser. We call for good governance. That's all we ask for. We are not asking for the money you have looted. You have your money piled away wherever. Some decades where you buried them. You should be ashamed of yourself already. But Nigerians have spoken. And our voices must be heard. Unless you're ready for the consequences, which I know the youth will not back out at this time. It is too late to back out. We're going to get it done. And it is now, by every means necessary. Don't say the youth are calling for a crisis, because you, the Aristotles, that has refused to give power and liberty to the younger ones. All of you, you've been in politics. When you were even youth, our ancestors allowed you opportunities. And same opportunities you have denied and repeatedly denied Nigerians. And you call yourself leaders. You should retire already. And that's what the youth are saying today. That's what Nigerians are saying today. So if you want one Nigeria, don't say Oduduwa want to leave. Don't say Arewa want to leave. Don't say Biafra want to leave. Just say you are the one pushing Nigerians to seek to leave Nigeria. That is the truth. You, the political elite, you are the one pushing Nigerians to wherever paths or lanes they choose to be. And you should stop already. So that's my say. Whoever is talking about P2B being an Igbo man, no, P2B is not an Igbo man. P2B is a Nigerian. And every Nigerian has equal rights, fairness, and justice, as we declared in the national anthem. That's my stand, my sister.
Is that you always say it the way it is, and you hit it on the nail. Mazin Bakwe, if you see what I flashed before, they have manipulated it. They said Bola Tinubu is now winning. He's now leading, followed by PDP, followed by Labour Party. I mean, this is unbelievable. Very, very unbelievable. What is your take from this, from the government perspective, from those in diaspora? What do you advise? The government stand is that people should go to Inec and peacefully demonstrate, demanding that the mandate of the people should be obeyed. Now they are manipulating it. So look at Bola Tinubu with his failing health. So apparently, once Bola Tinubu goes through the stress of governance, he will pass the way they have been passing. Then the other Muslim guy comes up with his VP, and then they will actualize their jihadist agenda. They are playing, the oligarchies are playing this game. What do you advise our people? Because Mazin Bakwe, the Amazonians did one thing that was very remarkable. Their political class left the parliament in one day. They took their decision and left the parliament. For that reason, they had no representation. United Nations came in and gave them territory and made them have their territory. In as much as they're still fighting, but they have gotten part of their territory where normal governance is taking place and life is running normally, while they keep fighting to gather other people together. Now, this is the time for our political class to come to that decision that they need to pull out of Nigeria if they deny Obi the people's mandate. What is your take, sir?
You flashed the news that they found the actual original result of yesterday's election. I said I will I will receive it with a grain of salt and keep my fingers crossed, because Nigeria can go any length to do anything. The only person they have not been able to bribe is God. Please let everybody hear me and hear me clearly. They will steal that machine that is capable of locating a thief. But that machine is not able to locate them when they're coming to steal it. That is Nigeria for you. Thank you, my sister. You made a very outstanding statement and delivered it very eloquently. This is not a time for the youth alone. Because it wasn't the youth that went out yesterday to vote. Papa, Mama, everybody went out. This time around, all hands should be on the deck. If they are going to protest, both old and young, children, school children should follow them. Even if they have to do half an hour of protest, that's okay. But it has to be a mass protest. And following that, those of us in diaspora should not sit back and drink champagne and say all is well. All is not well. Our politicians, unlike the ambassador and my sister, they are different. They're different breed. They have been compromised. They all have large hooks in their mouth. They can't swallow it. They can't spit it out. They don't know what to do. They're just wiggling there. So they are being dragged anywhere by our enemy. So this election, they have rigged it. It's very clear. And they feel there's something we can do about it. Yes, they weave their basket around us, caged us very well. Because we didn't keep our eye focused on the ball. We were out there chasing flies, chasing money, shipping motor parts. So the chicken has come home to roost. If we don't take the bull by the horn, we're going nowhere. If an election like this where the winner was clearly visible, all of a sudden things have changed. Tinubu is now leading. The next tomorrow now, Atiku leading back and forth until one of them will emerge. And then Peter Obi is shoved aside. And our people are going to swallow this. I, for one, will not. Till death do me part. I will not. This is my second missionary journey. I'm a BIAFRA veteran. I've seen it. I've been, I smell gunpowder. I suffered. I went through the Biafran war. And now it's happening again in our land. Yes, there's going to be problem. There's going to be war. But are we ready to fight that war? And if we're going to fight that war, should it be in our land? I mean, we did everything to have a peaceful election, but that wasn't the case. El Rufai is not today. Amadu Bello, they are the same thing. That is what their game plan is now hashing out. So the only thing we can do is to get back to the basics.
Yes.
But it has to be led by those in diaspora.
Mazimbabwe, you said it. That was why, Ezad, I'm coming to you. That was why we said it, that we do not want to be seen to stall democracy. If we had said, don't go vote, don't do this, they would say, oh, if you people had voted, Peter Obi would have won, or this and that. We did what we're supposed to do. Our people came out and voted, both in the southeast and south side and everywhere. They voted overwhelmingly. Now, those people who have been clamoring for one Nigeria, those people who have been clamoring for Biafra or Oduduwa, this is now the time to see that the only problem is not the Biafrans. The problem is not the Biafrans, it's not the Yorubas, is the Fulani that does not want another person to rule. And why will we be in the same country when one migrated entity, because Fulanis are not original, they're not indigenous to the land. Fulanis are migrating nomads that came and settled in Nigeria. Gradually, they conquered the Hausas and gained their ground. Now they want to conquer the whole nation. They are the ones saying that we the indigenous people cannot rule. And then my question is, why should we remain in Nigeria? Because I said, we did what we're supposed to do to make sure we are not caught wanted, that we are storing democracy. Now, if they deny Peter Obi this, Ezeada, what do you advise we Biafrans, Yorubas, Oduduwas, everybody to do? That means we are not one country. That is exactly what it means. I'm going to flash what Adeban just said. Nigeria has shown that they want Peter Obi to be their president by voting for him. If INEC dares to rig the election, Nigeria should protest seriously for international communities to intervene. If you do not want Igbo man to rule Nigeria, then allow them to go and have their Biafra. Pa Adebanjo Ayo. Adebanjo. What is your take, my sister?
My dear, you see all these people, they don't love Nigeria. To them, there is nothing like one Nigeria. To them, it's about them and them alone. So this time around, it's not about Igbo. It is about one Nigeria that we have to save. By saving Nigeria, we are saving ourselves.
In a situation whereby P2B, Honorable P2B has come to salvage the leftover, and they said they don't want him. The Nigerian people said they want P2B to come and help rebuild. They said they don't want him. Who is this person saying they don't want him? The Fulanis. How can we remain in the same nation with them?
So what I'm saying, my sister, those that are saying they don't want P2B are the inconsequentials of Nigeria. These are the people that hate Nigeria with a passion. They have stolen so much from Nigeria. If you think back, all the looting going on and being taken to other parts of Nigeria or other parts of the world, including, you know, the names of the African countries, they are taking our resources, Canada, oil, railway, and everything. So they are divided interests. The real Nigerians want Peter Obi. But those that have enslaved Nigerians, they are the people that don't want Peter Obi. So if we don't do something about what is going on right now as Nigerians, as one collective and united people, then we need to apologize to the slave masters, to those that colonized our country, that our forefathers had to fight to chase away, to liberate ourselves. Then we have to apologize to them. Because I don't see how we can be in a country where our forefathers fought to hold together. And some people that say they are Nigerians are those enslaving. If we cannot rise as a country and do something right now, then we should apologize. We should apologize to those that colonized us in the past. So right now is not even a time to play around. I know what they are trying to do is to push us to get divided again. To start talking about Biafra, start talking about Oduduwa, start talking about Arewa and all that stuff. Because that's what they have always done. And that's why they win. But now we have identified our common enemy. The enemy of Nigerians. They are the political class. Those that don't want our youth to grow. Those that don't want the prosperity of Nigerians. Those that have looted us dry. They are the problems. So, but each time they try to push us to ethnicity, so they can keep doing what they are doing. So now is a time they have to speak as one family. Let's fight our common enemies so we can prevail this time. Peter Obi is the president of Nigeria, and Nigerians just elected their new president. So our votes must count. Nobody's going to leave it to chances or leave it to them or say, oh, let's go to judiciary. Judiciary has been pocketed, just as Inec has been pocketed. So we are going to right now devise the means. Since the INEC did not respect the interest of Nigerians, I don't think Nigerians should take whatever nonsense INEC brings to them, unless it corresponds with what we have from the field. The judiciary has been pocketed. When you go there, you know what happens over there. Because they have those they try to please. So we are left now to take our destinies in our hands. We have voted, and our votes must count, at least this time around. Because Nigeria is already gone. How much more can we wait? We don't have time to wait. Posterity will blame us. If our forefathers fought our colonizers to liberate us, we must fight. These our own people that have enslaved us for this many years. We have to get up and fight them, so that posterity will not blame us, blame our generation for being so gullible-minded. This whole nonsense started from somewhere. We allowed it for too long. It became a culture. They don't even need to go to school to be at that place where they earn trillions of dollars. And professors are paid peanuts. Look at ASU strike. Look at what is going on. Where do we go from here? To go back to the gutters where we have been given a beacon of hope? No. That means cowardice for all Nigerians. It doesn't matter where those people come from. They have one common goal: to destroy Nigeria and Nigerians. We don't have to let them do it. They've been doing it and getting away with it. Look at the monies. Do you know how much decayed, buried away, and decayed just to impoverish us, just to keep us in penury? What leader does that to their people? It's not about ethnicity right now or religion right now, because they never considered it. Go to their own people and see how they've been held captive, put to the lowest point, make them less than animals. And they tell around and tell you that it is religion. So that religion gave them the right to be better than others. No, the human race should be one in equal rights, fairness, justice, equity, and love. That's what it should be. So what I'm thinking on Nigerians right now is, let's fight as one family against our common enemy. If they succeed in dividing us and pushing us towards religious and ethnicity angles again, we would have lost big time, just like we always lose and they gain. So fight right now like your life depends on it. Because right now they are trying the waters. If you allow them, they will use those, they will make you drown in that ocean. So my own thing is, it is our fight. And we know our common enemy. And we have to take that which belongs to us. Freedom is never given, it is taken. They are taking it, but we're not letting them, because we're taking it back. It is going to be now by every means necessary. The answers, it was for the youth. Now we are coming as Nigerians, as a collective family, and there's no going back. We have gone too far that we cannot go back until we achieve our aim. Other countries did it and they triumphed. We will do it as Nigerians. We can and we will. Thank you, my sister.
Is that I know you speak from your heart. Mazimbakwe, I'm coming to you. We have seen it. There were 3 men that contested for this election: Comrade Obi, Atiku, and what's his name? Tinubu. Atiku is from the Fulani oligarchy lineage that says no Igbo man can rule Nigeria. Tinubu is from the group. His team and himself says, don't allow Obi to win, because if Obi wins, he's going to build seaport, he's going to build airport, and then Biafrans and Igbos will go, and they won't be coming to Lagos again to clear their market. The only person that has a nationalist agenda for the so-called Nigeria is His Excellency Peter Obi. Mazin Bakwe, what do you advise INEC if they still want Nigeria to be one? What do you advise INEC? Because these two men have shown where they are going to. Obi is the only one that has shown that he's a true nationalist that will unite all tribes. That is not playing tribal bigotry in this election. What is your advice to INEC if he wants one Nigeria?
Yeah, before advice to INEC, let me make one point clear. What we are trying to do is damage control. We are trying to do damage control, not that we believe in Nigeria. Nigeria has been suffering, has been in coma. We are hoping that we can keep Nigeria alive by bringing somebody that can help apply the antidote. And that's why we are endorsing Peter Obi. Like Amaka said, he's the only one that has a nationalist mentality. The rest are just me alone, me. It's my turn. So if anybody's believing completely in Nigeria, that person is wasting his time. We have to proceed with caution. We are trying to do a damage control. And it's becoming clear that INEC, that is supposed to be neutral, that is supposed to oversee a free and fair election, have not done that. And they continue to derail. Now we are hearing that the Atiku is in the lead or Tinubu is in the lead. How? How did we arrive at that? They have not been able to explain why the BVAS machine does not work, why network all of a sudden broke down, why there were not the ballot papers properly printed showing the different political parties. They have not been able to explain why they were late to the polling booth, the INEC. They have not been able to explain why some people were asked to leave if they don't want to vote for a particular party. And yet it's supposed to be a free and fair election. And then we're supposed to continue to believe in one Nigeria. My sister, I have my reservations. But what I'm trying to do, what I believe we are trying to do, is damage control. If I can say it in Igbo, that is, what can we do that has died? What can we do to bury it? And until we come to that juncture, we'll be wasting our time. These people are dribbling us. They are dribbling us. We keep complaining every time. We've been complaining since 1970, the war ended. We were promised rehabilitation, reconstruction, and the other third R. I don't even want to think about it, try to rack my brain to get it, because it's meaningless. They never implemented it. And here today, we are trying to do a damage control by saying, okay, let's have a free and fair election and see who can fix Nigeria. Do you now, we all now see, my brethren, that Nigeria is becoming unfixable. So, INEC has to get it right, or else we declare a vote of no confidence in them completely. If they have to redo the election, and then if we have to invite international community to come and guide us, since we're still stupid, we don't know what to do. After all these years of it, we've not learned. We have all the intellectuals around us. So if we have to do that, to have a free and fair election, because right now they have rigged it, and they're going to force you down your throat. They did that in Imo State, and they've been doing it all along, all these years, and they've been getting away with it. I am saying, from my recommendation, we need to step out of our comfort zone and take this bull by its horn. Thank you.
Yes, I said I'm coming to you next. Imo State had to pass through because it's just a state. But now Nigerians have spoken. This is no longer an Igbo affair, Biafran affair, Imo State affair. This is Nigerian speaking. And this is what
the don't care. They don't care whether you're spoken or not. And they're telling you that they don't care.
Hold on. Let me play this. Okay. After that, I want you to see why I said that the only person that is a true nationalist that can unite all the tribes is Obi. Listen to this.
Freedom is coming tomorrow. Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Yeah, oh, you will listen to mama. Yeah, oh, you will.
Let me see. Okay. This is Obasanjo storming the Inec office in Abuja with the true reports. But the one I want to play is where Peter B intercepted Tinubu telling people not to vote Peter B because he's going to develop the eastern region and we will not be slaves in their land anymore. Anyway, when I find that video, I will play it. But for now, Eziada, I want you to because yesterday I saw a circular that says election continues today. Then I saw another one when Obasanjo stormed the INEC office where they said the INEC chairman has suspended the election. This confusion along the line, all this is to prevent Obi from emerging. And we know he had already emerged. So what is your take in this? Talk to our people.
Yeah. You know, when I watched that dance, the youth were dancing, it gladdened my heart. You know, what are Nigerians even asking for? Good governance. Just good governance. Is it too much a thing to ask for? Quality leadership. That's what we are asking for. That's what the youth want. Why the killing? Why the wickedness? Why the bloodshed? What have we done to the leaders, to our political class? What have we done? This political class, you remember that even Rawlings had to kill all the corrupt politicians to liberate his people. But Nigerians have not done that upon all you guys have done to us as a people. When are you going to stop? Is it not enough already? Do you want to kill everybody? What will it profit you? Why can't we just be happy people? Just look at how those youths are dancing. Just because they want to be happy in the land of their birth. That's the only land where the skeletons of our ancestors can be found. Why can't you be fair to your own people? What did they do wrong to elect you to be their leaders? Why are you wicked to your own people? Look at other countries. They love their people, provide for their people, care for them. Why can't you borrow a lead from those people? Well, you know you take your children there so they can have good life. Can't you give good life to Nigerians? What will it take you? Why did you allow the monies to decay instead of giving to your people? Instead of giving to the youth who die in their millions in the wilderness, just seeking for greener pastures? Why are you wicked? Why are you cruel? Why are you this heartless? So what I'm saying is we can be one happy family, one happy Nigeria. That has been the desire and dream of our ancestors. So what I'm saying is, when somebody's talking about if you're elected to be, he's going to create oil, whatever he will create in the East, and people will stop coming to Lagos. Who told you that? People have houses in America, they still go back to their home in Nigeria. People have houses other places, they still go back to their home. So if P4B has the wisdom to multiply our resources, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? The Igbo man has estates all over Lagos, houses all over Lagos, businesses all over Nigeria. You think they're going to take you, just abandon them one day and bring them to the east? How many land do we have in the east that will accommodate us? We are just one happy Nigerian family, for Christ's sake. You leaders, open your brain. You are becoming too myopic. Too myopic. Too myopic for proper reason. Somebody can expand and you don't want the person to expand the scope because you are limited in your own mentality. You are limited in your own abilities. You have some kind of incapacitations that you don't know the difference. You don't know what it means to multiply the resources of a nation. Yes, that's what we want, leaders that have something to offer to get into power so they can multiply the resources, so they can create other avenues to make money for revenue generation and better the lives of people. That's why we have leaders that don't want electricity to work because they want you to buy generator. What mentality? What gutter type of mentality? And you know that electricity is what people need for their businesses. And a leader is sitting promoting generator purchase against electricity. People are even using solar systems right now. They've even graduated from even the electricity puts in the back. It is solar right now. And you're there in your archaic mentality. Your mentality that has nothing in there. And you use it to compare somebody that is in a jet age with a jet brain that can turn things around monetary-wise. And you use it as a caricature. I pity the youth. Somebody is telling these craps to, and they believe in him. He will create whatever. Let him create it so we can prosper more. Let him create it so we can grow more. Let him create those things so we can expand. I mean, I don't know. We have to grow past where we are right now. It's shameful that when we present ourselves as the giants of Africa and we are put on the scale, we weigh nothing. The other day, I took an Ethiopian airline from America down to Nigeria. Ethiopia Airline. But where do we have? I know we used to have Nigeria Airways. Where is it right now? Where is Nigerian Airways right now? Nigerian Telecommunication. All those things we had in the past. When I was a child, I went to school. I didn't have to buy my books. I didn't have to pay my school fees. I didn't buy textbooks, pencils, sharpener, all those stuff. I never bought it. We got all our water from the tap. Electricity was there 24 hours. Look at the leaders we have today. You have taken Nigerians back to primitive. The other day, people were doing trade by barter. What else do you want to do to Nigerians? Don't you see that you've exhausted anything you can offer? Your brain is already tired and shriveled that you cannot do anything. That is human for you. Go and get some rest. Allow the youth to give us what they have in themselves so that we can prosper. That's where we are. That's all we ask for. And stop manipulating us, telling us his ethnicity, his religion. That's nonsense. It's nothing that has to do with that. You're just selfish. You're selfish and myopic. That's all we see. So my sister, I'll have to take a leave. I have a training I'm going to start right now. So all I wish Nigerians, I wish us the best. And the best we must get. We're not stopping at anything. Nothing will stop us right now until we raise that flag of freedom. That flag of prosperity, that flag that makes us the giants of Africa. That's where we are heading to. God bless Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That is where, if Nigeria breathes the sign of equity, justice, and equality, But I would disagree to say God bless Nigeria in a situation whereby inequality exists, massacre exists, a particular invader will say they are the most prudent to rule Nigeria. I refuse to be part of that Nigeria. I will say God bless Nigeria if they realize that we are one and we should have equal right and justice, equity and fairness. And on that note, I say thank you, Izada. And
Thank you. Thank you, my sister.
You. And
God will bless Nigeria. We need God's blessing right now because we are fighting to the finish. Nothing can stop us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear. Thanks. Yes, Mazi, we'll be wrapping it up shortly, but like the reason why we supported Peter Obi is one, because he's the most credible person among the other two, or among the three. Then he is the one that is more nationalist. He is an Igbo man. We feel our goal is still Biafra. In a situation whereby they do not want us, we got to go. But with Peter Obi giving us good road, giving us seaport, we feel is advancing our country. Because for us to exist as a nation, we must have a viable economy, a viable security, a viable entrepreneurs ready to invest, and then the security has to be enabling. All this we feel among these three men, Peter Obi is the only one that can at least come nearer, next to being okay with these things. And then we can now come and say we need referendum. We need Nnamdi Kanu out. These other chiefs cannot do this. That's why the government just said, we're between the devil and the deep blue sea. Among these three people, three men, who is a better evil? Peter Obi is a better evil. That is why Nigerians chose Peter Obi and went out to vote for him. And today we have seen them rigging it. What is your last advice to these people whose mandate have been stolen? Because they are in for a more battle now. The battle just began.
We have to pay attention to questions that, for instance, look at the one that is on the screen and be able to answer those questions, because we cannot keep preaching the same thing every day to our people. There are certain areas where they need a clarification. That's what we should be looking at for now, because I think we've done enough preaching. I have personally done enough preaching to my people. And along with what you've said, I don't know how I can be praying for a country in which snakes swallows money and no longer human beings, in which crocodile swallows money, in which rats invade the Aso Rock, their headquarters. I don't know how I can feel, justified, happy, praying for such an entity. Rather, I should be praying that let God's will be done. Let our people be free, because we cannot continue to suffer, because God created us so that we can enjoy his blessings, all his creation. He didn't create us so that we come here and suffer, or somebody come here and step on our neck every time we are crying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. That's what we've been doing. So anybody that doesn't see this then has got it completely wrong. I'm sorry to say that. Anybody that doesn't see that Nigeria is in a coma, and therefore something has to be done. Whether it's to Inec, okay, what is the advice do we give to Inec? Are we going to let them off the hook and keep praying for Nigeria? It's
going to be on record that Nigeria came into complete breakage via Inec. That's what exactly the message is. That Inec rigging this election enabled the complete disintegration of Nigeria, so that history will have it.
Yes, because like I said, we're not going to let them off this hook. They have to explain where they've been and where they want to take us to. We cannot ignore the fact and then be wishing for the star, for the moon. It's not going to come down. We need to address the problem. Hit the nail while it's hot on the head. I mean, we suffered enough. Our people have suffered enough. Whether they're in Sokoto, whether they're in Lagos or Abuja or Owerri or Imo or Cross River. So, our people, my recommendation today is we have to step out of our comfort zone. Those at home, not just the youth, because once they see the youth, they open fire on them. Maybe if they see the old mom and dad from the village and the little kids walking around the streets, wherever you are, if you're in Aba, if you're in Umuahia, if you're in Ekotekbeni, if you're in Abuja, if you're in Lagos, set up a day that we all do that mass nationwide protest. And then I'm sure it will get to the ears of the international community. But they have to step in. It's not just coming and then turning their blind eye on what is going on. And up to now have not made any statement. All our TV stations, they are not saying anything. I've not any, unless somebody, maybe I'm not listening or I'm not watching the news enough. But it should be loud and clear that things have really gone wrong. So, yeah, my closing remark is that we need to do something fast. We need to get all hands to be on the deck. Those of us in diaspora should learn to get together now, and because we have to lead this protest, we have to lead this struggle. We're in a much better position to do that because nobody's pointing gun, on ahead. And whatever we have, all little drops of water make a mighty ocean. If people can give us 5% of what they have, put it together, that will help us to send messages, send people on errand to go and plead with the international community. But we cannot do it empty-handed. There's no way. It doesn't matter how long you preach and prophesy and cast and bind. You have to hold the Bible on one hand, and the other hand, you hold your sword for work, for battle, as it comes by. So that will be my closing remark or closing statement.
Let me play one music. I'm trying to upload something of interest before I make my remark, and then we close. One moment, please.
Freedom is coming tomorrow. Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Yeah, oh, you will listen to mama. Yeah, oh, you will.
Yes, this freedom is far-fetched. With this kind of thing I'm going to show you now. This is why this freedom is far-fetched unless we rise up now. I want you to watch.
It's what we are doing. It's being determined to do it. At all costs, fight for it, grab it, snatch it,
Yes, sir.
and run with it.
Yes, sir. Jagaban. Jagaban. Yes,
So this is the reason why what happened in Lagos State is happening. Where Bola Tinubu and his men are saying, you got to snatch it, you got to go for it, you got to get it by all means, and when you get it, you got to run with it.
And the youth were clapping for him. The youth that were trying to say are clapping for him. What a shame.
Look at that.
We have not learned our lesson.
It's what we are doing. It's being determined to do it. At all costs, fight for it, grab it, snatch it,
Yes, sir.
and run with it.
Yes, sir. Jagaban. Jagaban. Yes, sir.
You see, it baffles me like the guy videoing how a young man like that is supporting a man that is almost joining his ancestors to rule him.
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
not a shame on him?
Yes.
He should even go and commit suicide.
This is
President Umar BIAFRA worldwide is telling him to go and commit suicide. He's not worthy to be a son. He's not worthy to be a Nigerian. Look at that, an able-bodied young man saying that a man like Bola Tinubu that is half gone into his grave should wake up and be his leader. He's a fool. We place a curse on him. That's not the kind of generation I want to be part of it. He's a fool. He can do selfie and video. He is there. And a man like Bola Tinubu that is almost 90 years will be his leader, will be his president. He should cover himself in shame.
These are the people that you want us to feel sorry for. Well, I mean, I've had my time. I've played my role. It's up to the youth of today to wake up. Otherwise, they will not make it. When they see an old man like me, they think that they are going to get it to my age. They may not. And the rate things are going.
They can't get to. I mean, look at the life expectancy now. It's 53. With those who have money, have everything. In Nigeria now, it's 53. With the way things are now, the way they're killing them. Look at the group that is died. That the population, the statistics, 15 years and above. Either they kill themselves, or the government kills them, or the machinery they put in place kill them. Not even hunger and everything. If the if they manage hunger, they may get up to 53. But look at that. They may not get to your age. And a young man in his right senses, he's saying that a man like Bola Tinubu should come and rule Nigeria. Are you kidding me?
He's calling his nickname, Jagaban. Jagaban.
To see a doctor for brain, let them give him some brain. If that guy, I will play it again for those who do not know what I'm talking about, to see how an able-bodied man is saying that Kakas, an ancestor, a man that is half gone, body gone, spirit gone, have gone to the grave, should come and rule an able-bodied man like him. And he's clapping his hand. He's happy. He's shamed. They shame me. He's not worthy to be even a Nigerian. Talk of being a young man. Look at that. For those who do not know what I'm talking about.
This is what we are doing. It's being determined to do it. At all costs, fight for it, grab it, snatch it,
Yes, sir.
and run with it.
Yes, sir. Jagaban. Jagaban. Yes, sir.
That is the young man praising Jagaban. They are clapping for him that somebody like Bola Tinubu should be our next president. He said, go for it, snatch it, fight for it. Whatever you can do, grab it. And when you grab it, run with it. And this is how he formulated all his talks, went around yesterday. If you do not vote for APC, you cannot vote. This is exactly how it all started. And I want international community that seem to be listening, as they said they came to monitor. I hope they will be fair enough to write a credible report. Somebody posted in this and said, we are talking about international community. We are talking about Peter Obi, that Peter Obi was a British agenda to kill IPOP. That he didn't come to contest it. So the way my people reason. And if this international community refuse to report credibly, then we will now know that there is a game in all these things they're talking about. So on that reason,
people they have difficulty applying wisdom. We're not getting into a street fight. This is not street. Here we want an economy. It's something that you have to sit back and articulate and come up with a more logical, more pragmatic way of going about the freedom fight. So if until we come to understand that, you are not going to engage that. I mean, just like that idiot Don Quixoto going against the windmill with machete and club stick. How can you do that? How more foolish can you be? And that's what people are trying to suggest we do. No, I'm not going to support that personally. And any good, well-meaning person with brain will not go along with that. So let's sit back and reason. And all it takes is for us to come together and articulate. And if we decide that that's the way to go, then we decide how we're going to go about it. You don't just talk the talk, you have to walk the walk. You are talking, going against a seasoned army. No, you don't do that. That would be suicidal.
So we Republic of Biafra government in exile, located at 1717 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. The president of the Republic of Biafra government in exile is Honorable Tony Wisi. We are clamoring for peaceful demonstration at Inec offices all over Nigeria to make sure the mandate of the people is not stolen. We want the OB group and the Labour Party to go ahead and initiate legal action against INEC. INEC is stealing the people's mandate in broad daylight and is unacceptable. And we call on all meaning freedom fighters, those who really need their freedom from Nigeria. We say, Mechuko Kikabia Malid. Let everybody be ready. The battle has just begun. Rufai said that the only reason why we will not have peace in Nigeria is because an Igbo man is being elected president. That he's ready to go to war instead of Obi to be the president of Nigeria. The people have spoken. And invaders from the Futajelon are saying that we will not have peace in our land. Let everybody rise. Peter Obi has won overwhelmingly. Nigerians have spoken. And if El-Rufai, Garuba Shehu, and his like are saying the voices of the people cannot be respected, they decide to rig this election through INEC. They have declared war. And it is either you give me freedom or you give me death. On that note, we say we'll be back again tomorrow. Let's keep eyes on the ball. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you, Biafra.